Hey guys, can you hear me? Is music levels good? Mic levels good and all that? Test, test. Let me know in the chat, please. Good to go. Hey, Doppel. So, anywho, hopping on. The stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only, not to be interpreted as financial advice. How are you guys doing? I'm pretty blind right now. I have not been looking at charts. Frankly, went offshore fishing yesterday and got my physically beat up from all the fish, as well as driving the boat and all the driving of the trucks long range like that. But I tell you what, it's gas prices suck. We got 10 miles a gallon pulling the boat, so that was fun. But haven't caught a shark in a while, and we got into a bunch of black tips, so it was a lot of fun. All catch and release. Tried to tag a few, but we had some real issues with them throwing absolute fits, so didn't do any of that. But it's a good time. Anywho, I hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't noticed, the weekend has just been kind of lazy for crypto. They've been waiting for the American markets to be online in particular, not necessarily markets, but the American markets seem to be where the volume's going. In last stream, we had talked about some potential patterns with Bitcoin, and that this was either going to be the range high or that this was going to be the range high above it. And wasn't really sure, but thought it was at least going to be this one, and sure enough it was. TP bot fired off. We got the color rotation. Not the strongest signal, but it was the signal nonetheless. And she pulled back. How far did she go? Roughly 10%. Nothing crazy, but that scared a lot of people. It is what it is. This stuff's really hard to trade. I'm playing with some things, but mainly I'm waiting for a range low test wherever this will be. And we may not get it, right? It may. I'm waiting for this, and this is where I can load up. But it may do this first. Sometimes it'll take a few stabs at the high range. But anywho, quantitative tensioning is online with the Fed, so they are starting to dump in June. So that's in process now. The market's kind of got rattled a little bit from it. Frankly, the traditional markets look like an exit pump to me. Doppel and I have been talking back and forth on it a lot. But it is what it is. We're just kind of waiting it out. We've got next FOMC meeting is this week? No, 2 weeks out. Week and a half out. So we gotta wait for that and see what they really do. But long story short, I think the whole market's gonna be chilling out until the Fed gets stuff under control. But in the meantime, Bitcoin's definitely in a range. We have a range high, range low. Go watch the video we did last time. It covers this in great detail. But essentially, don't mess around in the middle. And right now, we are literally on the middle. The visible range is dead center. We're in the middle of the bell curve here. We're on red and green candles, not much of a signal. Volume's dead. Like, there's no volume here. So there's not much to do other than kind of sit back. There probably are some people posting about knocking stuff out of the park, but I don't know. I wouldn't really be interested. I mean, we can go see if there's any alts that are doing anything, but nothing. You have 3-4 of them on Coinbase that are over 10% in a day. That's just a little scam pump on Pro. Balance. But yeah, I mean, nothing. It's what's crazy is even like low cap alts aren't even doing much. So it's just kind of wait it out and see. But definitely, like, when we're sitting in the middle, there's no advantage to try to trade this, at least with anything with any size. VWAP is brought down into the middle as too, and we're in the middle of the VWAP rainbow. It's like, dude, nothing's here. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, but it's saying just chill out, wait it out, go have fun on the weekends. turn off the charts, set some alerts. You can set alerts when certain price levels are broken. So you could just, I don't know, above 31 and below 28, I guess, but nothing's really happened here. And the major alts haven't moved much either. Ethereum's just grinding it out. But VWAP seems to be hitting pretty hard here, the VWAP ribbon. Failure to get through it, so maybe we'll come up and test it, maybe break through, don't know. But we got visible range stuff above us here. And then you got pivots above that, so it'll be interesting to see when ETH comes out, because we are getting closer to ETH 2.0. And we will see what happens. On paper it's bullish, but stranger things have happened. We've seen some stuff completely liquidate and go to zero that no one would have ever thought would have really hit, so you got to be careful. But Ethereum, same thing. It's just, albeit Ethereum's not really hanging out in the middle. Ethereum's kind of on a range low, right? But I'm interested for like DCAing right now, but nothing really more than that. But ETH is one of my long-term bags. Always will be. You can be a Bitcoin maxi and an ETH maxi at the same time. Don't let people tell you otherwise. But yeah, so we haven't even come back up here. Just grinding out. Doesn't look great, but if it's a good place to reverse, if we actually reverse through here, because this is a higher low. I mean, a higher low than here. Weaker colors, no RSI. Stronger colors here. This is lower, but weaker colors. So maybe it'll start mean reverting up, but if it gets through here, that'll be the question. Just don't know. But it's one of those things, you can just DCA it and see what happens. ETH 2.0 may be crazy. Arthur Hayes is talking about $10,000 per Ethereum this year, but dude's also in house arrest for breaking the law, so take it for what it's worth. And he doesn't have your interest at heart. He's a businessman, so chill out with that one. Litecoin's actually doing better than Ethereum right now. That's cool. So you see this on the visible range, this big fat volume. There's basically interests of support here that they're defending, and we haven't come back down here. Barely any colors, so this may actually start waking up. This actually looks pretty good to take a retest and flip this VWAP ribbon and maybe come up here. This would actually not be a bad play if you manage it properly. There's 16% to play with there, assuming that's a floor. So just say you market bid it now, which is not ideal. Almost 5R. Not bad. But Litecoin's always boring. So slow. Unless there's news that they're going to work with Walmart or whatever it was a while back. Then it actually goes crazy. Bcash. Bcash is just testing pivots. And guys, I always look at Bcash. I don't like Bcash, but it acts predictably. So I like watching it to see what's doing. You can see we were doing the counts here for a rainbow reversal, but it didn't make it all the way up here before it gave up the ghost, and it actually cut on those pivots, didn't make it through it. Tried to get through, didn't, came back down. Now it's testing the bottom range. So what's cool is you can see big spikes here. Big bear, big bull. But not looking good. But that's kind of where the entries are. It's when it's not looking good is kind of where you need to look to see to get really like rock star entries. Because if you can get an entry here and not get stopped out, that's money. See what we're messing with here. 15%, just like Litecoin. But this one's a little clearer on the pivots. Not 6 hour, go 4 hour. Yeah, 10k ETH. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. 5 years ago, it was not 5 years ago, a few years ago. Thank you for the follow. It was $300. Now it's 18 or whatever. So you just don't know. But I mean, for the most part, I could look at a ton of charts for you guys, but the stuff's just kind of chilling. See, this is kind of XLM has already broken in the VWAP. Now it's kind of bullpennant there, but that may be worth looking at for a breakout. But in general, not a lot of stuff's moving. The one thing I will say is acting weird is Tron, and I don't know why, but something is up with Tron. I wanted to point you guys at it because I can't explain what the whales are doing with it, but they're messing with it pretty bad. So if you looked at this chart, you would have no idea that like Bitcoin's doing god awful. I mean, for the most part, but at least recently. But if you zoom out on Tron, it is really getting eaten up by some big entities who don't care about liquidity. So Tron's OG, Justin Suntron, hasn't gone to jail yet. Maybe he's cooking up something good. I've heard there's some stuff they're doing with like the higher APR with some stablecoin stuff. I haven't really looked into it, but this stuff caught my eye. I'd been watching it for a while and I hadn't really said much about it, and then 9K started talking about it in his Discord. I was like, now that you mentioned it, yeah, it's been getting wrecked. So, and these are big swings. That's a 40% swing on Tron. And it's just been do. But this is this is not a micro cap coin, and it is moving all over the place. So, oh, who is 9K? He is Sell. Let me find his Twitter. It's one of the few guys I trust in this space. He's good. He's OG. And a nice guy. But him and Donnie were talking about this, and I think there's merit to say something's up. I don't know why, but this is definitely a range bottom. It's broken out, and now it's starting to climb back up when Bitcoin looks like garbage. So the fact that a top, I don't even know what top it is anymore, what the coin market cap is for it, but it's moving on its way up, which is interesting. And you can see the volume is turned on hard. So maybe there's some news that we're about to hear. I don't really know, but it was quite interesting to me to see that. It's one of those things where you're just like suspecting it, and then someone starts talking about it, and you're like, okay, yeah, something's going on. So moving on to traditional markets, the S&P 500. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of what Bitcoin is scaring Bitcoin right now, and has been for a while. Bitcoin is very correlated to this dude, and as much as I want it to uncorrelate, it doesn't. But I half suspect this is an exit pump. And this chart looks like garbage, but this is just how I've been tracking it for months now. But that looks like an exit pump to me. Just the way it rallied and the way it kind of died off. There's not really any bullish news. The only real argument is, or the question you could say is all the stuff the Fed doing priced in? And I don't think it is. Every single thing I've seen is just non-stop news articles about, are we going into a recession? Are we going into a bear market? And the Fed has just started offloading. So, and frankly, it was June 1st. Yeah. So the June 1st is when they started offloading. So going into them releasing some of their $9 trillion budget, price pumped going into that. So I'm suspecting that this is totally good. I pumping into bearish news that the Fed controls is not good, and I don't think sustainable. And I think what it's going to be is there's going to be a delayed reaction to get the S&P to finally actually roll over and respond to what Powell is doing, which is increasing rates and is also offloading his $9 trillion budget or balance sheet. But at the same time, eventually the Fed is going to stop increasing rates, at least pause them, and then eventually they're going to start decreasing rates. When that is, we don't know. They're not really forecasting it yet, so we have to wait. But at the same time as this kind of took a while to roll over, the bottom may take a while to print as well, and we shall see what happens. But I suspect we're done still by midterms. If not, we're going into a really bad year in 2023. Frankly, the world's globalization, kind of getting agreements, getting all messed up with Russia and everything else that's going on right now, could throw a lot of this in for a loop. And also, what happens around September, October, this is harvest season. So all these disruptions in the world, where some of the world's largest wheat producers, as well as some of the largest fertilizer producers, we are going to know if it affected harvest. So that'll be the first like tip that we're going to know, is like end of Q3, beginning of Q4, if we're going to have really, really bad food shortages worldwide. So maybe that's something to look at as far as longing. Anything that produces fertilizer company-wise outside of that territory in Russia is going to be severely loaded. I don't even know tickers related to that, but it's just something to think about, and it'll affect this, because if we can't get the world back on track by September, October, I don't know where the S&P is going to go. It could get really, really bad, because we've been in a bull market for an ungodly amount of years. So we just have to see, because oil's going to be the other issue we have, as well as the food shortages. And here it goes. We're at 120 bucks a barrel and climbing back up. Now this was news. This was panic. This was Russia pump. So the world reacted to the invasions into Ukraine. And now we are bouncing through pivots and working our way up. And looks like we're going to be going for 130 now, next. And see if we can take this. And frankly, if we get above 130, confirm it, buckle up. I don't know where this goes other than $10 gas. And it's going to crush the economy. With that being said, we do have the option to quit exporting United States oil. So back in the day, we used to have oil prices based on every country. We used to not be a worldwide market for oil. So with that being said, if this just starts skyrocketing and it starts shutting down the U.S. economy, the president has the line item authority to stop exporting United States oil. At that point, prices would free fall back down. But that's just for us, the United States. Other countries would have serious issues. But that's just one thing where the countries will start fighting for each other. And that's the same thing if we go through a food shortage. All these countries that produce food, they're going to quit exporting just to feed their own people. So they'll be fine. Like, they're not going to be starving. But the countries that they normally export to are going to be royally in some hurt and some pain. So, got to be careful there. So it's kind of tough to see where this goes. And plus, I think these tickers and everything else for oil will change, because then we'll start having prices for the United States versus the price of the UK versus the price of Asia and stuff like that. So it's going to be a dicey year, with some potential big plays, because if you play this right, you could make money while oil goes up and the markets tank. But you can't be lazy about it. Yeah, Shell's just going. Where's the other one? Yeah, they're gonna go Shell, ExxonMobil. Jeez, ExxonMobil's about to be over $100. And back in October of 2020, it was 32 bucks. So yeah, this thing's doing better than crypto right now. Yeah, oil companies of all things. That's what's ripping and roaring in 2022. Valero is on a hell of a run. I've been wanting to get into this one, but I'm scared to touch it just because it's hanging in the VWAP. But you may just have to DCA, and I'm not real sure yet. But yeah, I mean, you guys want action outside of crypto. This stuff is being volatile and moving. crypto's not doing much, but like oil companies and stuff like that, anything related to supplying and keeping the price of oil down is going to be big. So wheat futures. We did look at milk last time, and milk was going crazy. Let me zoom out the daily because this is not terribly volatile. Yeah, that's milk right now. That's crazy. So year to date, milk is up 22%. Yep. Anywho, that's kind of the long story short where we are. It's going to be an interesting week, and we'll get maybe some better reads this week, but that's where I'm at with it. Weekends are chill. Nothing's really happening. See what gold's doing. Gold's not doing much. As normal. The other thing I am kind of watching is some of the tech stuff. China's showing some weakness and some issues. So big ones I'm looking at are actually Apple. So this is one of the companies that has like doubled down on their investments in China. But if China is about to go through a big energy crisis as well as a food crisis, there's going to be issues with Apple, and that's where only Apple iPhones and products are made. So labor force issues there is going to really hurt this stock. And frankly, Apple's usually ungodly strong, and we're like looking at the March COVID dip at the bottom of the VWAP rainbow, and we're almost on it here. Is crazy because usually Apple's so bullish all the time, and it's starting to show weakness, and this looks like a rollover. That's a lower high on weaker colors with a sell signal in the middle, not looking good, but you can see it really likes pivots. But you'll just see if this starts cascading down, and then earnings are coming in July, so another month and a half, 2 months for that. Tesla as well, but Tesla I think is more news related, but plus also Tesla stock is so, their market cap is so ridiculous anyway, who knows when it'll correct, but this is not looking good either. But maybe it's inverted head and shoulders like this one was. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, maybe we'll get a 3 and then bounce. Don't know. I'm scared to touch it just because it's so sky high. That, and frankly, I don't have any pivots along here. I know there's the pivot support block down here at 500, but man, that's a hell of a fall if it actually gets down here. 22% on a Fortune 500 company's big deal. Speaking of that, Costco nuked and then started recovering. So yeah, this was so sweet. Almost made it to the pivot, got in the rainbow, printed a bunch of whites, printed a bunch of RSI stuff, rotated her colors. Now we're coming back up, but it'll be interesting to see is if she comes back or not. Let me go with a 4 hour so you guys can see it better. Yeah, so it actually failed to go through the pivot the first time, came back down, and then it broke through, but now it may come back, retest, and then go. I hope so. So I like Costco. Costco's doing well. Netflix was the other one. Albeit Netflix just keeps doing like, they keep doing stuff, I swear, intentionally to tank their stock. It's like they sit in a boardroom and say, what's the worst thing we could do? And then they do it. So how that works, I don't know. But Netflix may be bottomed out. I'm just scared to say it because this looked like a bottom formed out, and now we're doing the same thing. What, 20-30% down? No, that's way more than that. 40% down. So I don't know, but this is nuts. This many RSI prints this deep into a VWAP rainbow on whites is insane. So if you can catch a bottom here, I don't see Netflix going away anytime soon, but If it got back up to these numbers, that's a 200% trade. But it's going to take some time. Let's see if Disney's doing bad. Yeah, Disney's bouncing. So it hit support. Make the screen look awful for you guys. Yeah. We'll see. I'll say this, the new Obi series is awesome. I wasn't a big fan of the new Top Gun movie, but I really like the new Obi series. So I'm bullish for Walt Disney in that regards, but they are throwing down with this Florida right now, and that could hurt them. Catching up on chat. Anything good on Netflix? I don't know. I watched that, what is it, something in robots. There was a recent little short film about a siren that was like, I don't know what it was, but it was pretty crazy. Netflix siren episode. Love, Death, and Robots is what I recently watched. It was the one with the water siren. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on, but it was good. Yeah, I don't know who's left to mess with. We didn't look at Zcash. What's a stream without looking at Zcash? Nothing. It rolled over. I played this to here. I thought we were going to get to here, but I only got to there. Cut it. And now we're back down, but we haven't really tested this pivot yet. So I'm not super interested. Let me switch over to funding. Funding's not doing anything either. Binance got close to flipping, and that's the main one I watch. It's just Binance. This got super close to flipping, and then it rolled over. So hold on one second. So we'll see. I'm not really going to start screaming a bull market's on until the whales start taking on leveraged, and we're not there yet. So we're in, this is accumulation range type stuff or bear market stuff. So gotta wait until it's over. But right now they've been down here a long time. This was the last drop last summer, and it was not nearly as long as what we're dealing with right now. So, and they haven't moved over to leverage yet, so can't blame them. World's really unsteady right now. A lot of people are just sitting in cash, but cash is inflating away, but at the same time, it's the best of the worst. Let me look at Dixie real quick. Let me switch back to I know Doppel was watching this one a lot. Actually, it was 3 days is what I watched this on. Yeah. So essentially the DXY is the dollar strength index for, or dollar currency index. It basically shows you how strong the dollar is compared to everything else. And right now, basically, when you see this thing pumping, it means people are selling stocks and they're hodling cash, essentially is what it means. Or at least that's how I interpret it. And right now, it's about at breakout levels of the recent all-time highs. The last time it was this high was 2016. So we're dealing with some key levels and some key pivots here. But it peaked out, printed a new higher high, but it failed to hold it. So it was basically a swing failure pattern, and now she's coming back down, but really just don't know what's happening here or what it's going to do. But it moves really, really slow. So we're just waiting and watching. Anywho, check uranium out. I also want to check coal. Never really looked at it, but I was just thinking about it the other day. Yeah, uranium's starting to wake up. So it's pulling out of the bottom of this VWAP rainbow and it tagged this kind of support block down here. But will it keep climbing up? I don't know. We'll see. I'm really interested because it's the middle of the invasion. All these European countries said they're going to start generating all these new nuclear plants and get them going, but talk is cheap. Whether they really follow through, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if there's anything on coal futures. Because one of the things they can do is they can bring coal back really, really quick. A lot of like Germany's backup plan for their energy is coal. So that's one of the most industrialized countries in the world. And they will run on coal. And sure enough, coal is... I don't like how that prints. I don't ever look at this stuff, so bear with me. China coal futures will go there. Basically up. Microsoft cut guidance citing strong dollar. Eek. Microsoft's not doing hot, man. They're gonna struggle too, though. It's like, aren't they one of the majority owners of like Teams? Not Teams, Zoom and all that. I think a lot of the countries a lot of these companies made so much money during COVID with all their remote work type programs, but that's come to a head. But you can see the pivots are definitely on point. July 26th is the next one. What is TDOC? We can, for sure. Ugh. That's rough. That's like Luna pullback numbers. 90%. I mean, maybe it's a bottom, but you're gonna know it's... That is so much freaking volume. That's insane. Was there news related to this other than the earnings report? Holy cow. A surprise 7,000% in the numbers. Someone messed up bad. I don't know. Kathy Wood, diamond hands, really, really bad. What is it, ARK and... This is it, right? Is this ARK? This is hers? ARK, is that the ticker? ARKK? If that is Kathy Woods, it looks just like the Teladoc one. What a shit show. 75% on that. That's crazy. Look at the volume on it. People are panicking. Getting out. They took some profit here, took some profit here. Now they're capitulating. Huh. What was the other one I was going to look at? Robinhood. Robinhood looks like ICP charts. Straight down. Thank you for the follow. I don't know. She talks really well in camera. She's smart, but I just like I can't imagine a lot of the stuff they did holding investors' money, knowing that the Fed was about to roll over and just be hawkish as can be, and they just diamond handed held it. I don't know. That just is crazy to me. Let me see some of these. Yeah, Oxy was another one. This is another big oil company that's doing really well. Occidental. Yeah, they're gonna be rocking and rolling. Year to date, it's like 132%. It's just crazy. Yeah, decisions aren't too hot. I agree. But anyway, if you guys have any requests, let me know. Drop some tickers. I'll take a look at them. But I'm about to head out. I'll try to do a stream following up mid this week, but there's just not much going on in crypto, so it's hard to get excited about anything. So it's just kind of like chill out while this range plays out. I get really excited at the bottom and at the top of these ranges, but like right now there's nothing. So it's like, in my opinion, it's like if you want to say if it's going to go up or down, it's toss the coin. Who knows? But we can go do a quick raid if you guys are down. MCD? McDonald's? That's awesome. That's a cool chart. TP bot firing off at these tops and then these pivots hitting the bottoms are quite sweet. But right now, I don't know. It rolled over here. Dividends July 3rd. Ah, maybe. It'd be cool to get a retest to here or here and then long it again. If it keeps doing this, because it may be just wedging. Big long-term scale, right? Don't know. But it's typically like, it seems to be kind of recession proof, short of COVID, which my god, 126. Because the other one that I was looking at was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is not caring at all about recession times. That can't be the right ticker. Why is it charting so weird? I don't know if that's right. I thought it was Coke, but it's printing so damn weird. Oops. Switch it to daily. There you go. That's the one thing is I've seen is like even if like we go into like big downturns, sodas tend to do all right. Let's check out Pepsi. That's just crazy. Trade the pivots, guys. They work. There's a swing failure, but then rolled over on that pivot as well. Couldn't get through it. Then tried again, couldn't. Tried there, couldn't. There's really like a bunch in there. Try 6 hours. Colors are really weak on this, but I would increase those. But Pepsi, not looking good. It's probably going to come down before it finds the resistance or support, whether it's that or that, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you just got to be careful with Buffett. He's like 80 years old, but he'll buy a stock he plans to hold for 40 years even at this age. So let's go find somebody on Twitch. I've got to get going, guys. I'll be on the Discord and stuff later tonight if anybody has any questions. Or shoot me a DM or check out the website if you're interested at rainbow-trends.com if you want to see any of the tools that we use or explanations, tutorials, etc. Let's find somebody getting in it. Man, there's not many people here today. That's the wrong channel, bud. That's cool. See you guys.
Thanks for the raid! Hello waiters, thanks for tuning in. I'm just drawing an NFT for my wife. It's the first drawing I ever do on Procreate, and I'm not a drawing person. I'm a crypto person, and I'm a variety streamer on Twitch, and my name is Dasher, and I